Broadcasts of HIKI No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI No. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI No.
Next on HIKI No, stories from across our island chain.
Hear how the Special Olympics empowers a young woman to educate others about people with disabilities.
My goal is to introduce Special Olympics to the younger generation, and I want them to learn that everybody is the same and nobody should judge on what their physical characteristics look like.
Meet a wahine paniolo champion.
Discover the special relationship between a bone marrow donor and the person who received the life-saving donation.
Learn about the challenges of playing ice hockey in Hawaii. Meet a woman who matches homeless dogs with their future forever owners. And bid farewell to a HIKI No school that has come to the end of its 95-year-long history.
Stay tuned for these stories and get to know the HIKI No teachers at the schools represented in the show.
All on this episode of HIKI No
Can Do.
Aloha! We're here on the campus of Maui High School in Kahului.
Our immediate teacher and HIKI No advisor is Mr. Clint Gima. Students know him as being brutally honest in the tough critique he gives to them on their video projects. Although his comments may be brutal, his students know that his feedback serves to help them get better. Mr. Gima is not the only Gima here on the Maui High campus. His wife Lisa Kakiyuchi Gima moved to Maui High 4 years ago to teach fashion right across the hall. At the beginning of this year, his daughter Michelle started teaching in the Public and Human Services pathway. The following story from Maui High School is about how senior Britney Bautista overcomes challenges through the Special Olympics Unified Schools program.
You guys get the ball first. Ready?
Where's our goalie?
No need goal. Let's go. Play.
Some of the challenges that affects me is I'm not able to do most of the basic stuff that people without a disability can do.
Maui High School senior Britney Bautista was diagnosed with hypomelanosis of Ito at a very young age. The developmental delay syndrome affects her speech, intellectual ability, and motor skills.
She's 17 years old, and we still need to help her do, certain daily activities like brushing her teeth. She can't tie her own shoe. She can't put her hair up herself. She can't ride a bike. From a social aspect, she's been shunned. It makes me sad during growing up that people would recognize her disability, and as a parent, it's sad to see that.
Helping her overcome her past, the Special Olympics program provided Britney with a new family and a place of belonging.
I get to have my own place in the school, and Special Olympics is one of my highlights so far in my high school career.
Maui High's Special Olympics is an inclusion program where students with and without disabilities come together to participate in sports, socials, and other extracurricular activities. This acceptance and family-like bond is something Britney has been searching for her entire life.
I receive many opportunities from Special Olympics. I get to embrace my disability, and I get to compete in sport with my other classmates.
As one of only 12 United States youth ambassadors, Britney's sports career is not quite over. She will be using her experience and voice to advocate for Special Olympics, unified champion schools, and the advancement of inclusive youth leadership.
My goal is to introduce Special Olympics to the younger generation, and I want them to learn that everybody is the same and nobody should judge on what their physical characteristics look like.
In the future, Britney will be traveling to California and hopefully to Abu Dhabi for the World Olympic Games. And more opportunities are sure to come her way, especially with her persistent attitude and headstrong approach to life.
With Britney being at the forefront and we recognizing the fact she's bringing more awareness. We're all human beings, and we should all be treated equally, no matter, you know, what our disabilities are, if we have some or not. And let's be kind to each other.
This is Hannah Okamoto from Maui High School for HIKI No.
HIKI No is now on Instagram. For show updates and a peek behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram at HIKI No Can Do.
We're here at Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy in Waimea on Hawaiʻi Island.
Our Director of Digital Media and HIKI No Advisor is Mr. Ari Bernstein. He has been a teacher here at Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy for 12 years, as well as being an alumni. Mr. Bernstein is a postgraduate of USC's film program, but draws his inspiration from his life growing up in Hawaii with a focus on narrative filmmaking.
Okay guys, big steps back. We're getting a lot of sun now.
The following story from Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy on Hawaiʻi Island introduces us to a girls' paniolo champion.
So to become Aran Cowgirl, I rode my horses 7 days a week. I had to go down to Kealakekua straight from after school, and I'd ride them for about 3 hours.
Abby Foster is a sophomore at Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy who has spent her life refining the many disciplines of rodeo.
The number one thing is taking care of your horses. You have to have good horses, and you have to dedicate the time if you want to take rodeo to that level of winning. I started horseback riding when I was about 4 years old in kindergarten, and I didn't know anything about it. I just saw horses and I thought they were super cool and I wanted to ride them, and I started out riding English, and right away I was obsessed with it. I learned so much about horses when I started rodeo, because if they don't do their job, then you can't succeed. So I think why I love it so much is that you have to stay on top of it. You can't take a break. You can't take a week off or else things go wrong, and so that's probably where my passion starts.
To be an overall champion, Abby competed in a variety of events, from barrel racing to pole bending.
Rodeo has taught me probably how to lose and how to win, and that's kind of cliche, but at first when I would win, I didn't understand how special it was in rodeo, especially now it's gaining more popularity and there's more people competing against me. I never realized how one of a kind it can be just to win an event for 1 year. And especially when I lose, it taught me to get over it, and sometimes it's the hardest thing just to get over that because it takes so much time and dedication. This saddle I won in 2017. I was 8th grade, and that was my first time winning a saddle. When I won the saddle, it meant that I was #1 in the state for rodeo for the girls. This saddle up here is from my freshman year state finals, and I won again. I was even more surprised to win it 2 years in a row. Stay consistent. That's the main thing in rodeo. If you're winning and then losing and winning and losing, that's not gonna get you anywhere. If you're just consistently staying good, that is how you win, and hopefully can take me to succeed in states again.
This is Joshua Fernandez from Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy for HIKI No.
Our next story comes from Hawaiʻi Island, where students at Hilo Intermediate School tell the story of a bone marrow donor match that defied the odds.
When Daniel Kuramoto was a young boy in Hilo, he never thought his father would be diagnosed with cancer. Luckily, his aunt donated her bone marrow to Daniel's father, giving him a little while longer to live. This act of kindness inspired Daniel to become a bone marrow donor himself.
20 years later, I finally get a call saying that you are a match.
How is a bone marrow match determined? It's basically genetics or DNA. The same way you inherit your eye color, hair color, skin color from your parents, that's how we base our matches on. So it's different from blood type A or B, that kind of thing.
When Daniel's aunt donated her bone marrow to Daniel's father, the procedure was intrusive and painful.
Back then, there was only one way you could do it. Get a big needle like this and poke it through your hip, up to your bone, and pull out the stem cells.
But now, a much less invasive option is available.
It's called PBSC, or peripheral blood stem cell. Well, it's not bone marrow, it's taken from your arm. You're hooked up to a machine, and a cell separator machine, and it draws the blood out of one arm, separates the cells, take what we need, and put your blood back in the other arm. The process is about 4 to 6 hours.
I had leukemia, and that was 2013.
The day that they sent me the person's information, they sent it to me via email. So I opened it up, and there was the person's contact information, and it said from Hilo. So I kind of Google mapped it, and funny thing is, man, it was only 2 miles from my house. Could have been from anybody in the world, really.
He called. I got a call and said, "Oh, this is Daniel, and I'm your donor." I said, "I live in Hilo." I said, "What?" I was like a little kid screaming. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, how rare is it that Ms. Amateur and Mr. Kuramoto matched? Yeah, that was very rare that they live in the same community.
You know, if Seiko were here right now, I would just thank her. You know, we built this relationship, this good relationship. My kids now, they call her auntie, you know, and we invite her over to the big holidays and stuff.
I can't say thank you enough to him, but the only thing I can do is just live.
This is Hokulani Thomas from Hilo Intermediate School for HIKI No.
We're here at Hawaiʻi Technology Academy in Waipahu on the island of Oahu. Hawaiʻi Technology Academy's media teacher and our HIKI No advisor is Miss Chanel Tolentino, who's been here teaching media for 4 years. Knowing that what she teaches are real-life skills that are used every day in the world inspires her to keep on growing and to keep teaching students the different aspects of media. The following story from Hawaiʻi Technology Academy on Oahu takes us to the Ice Palace near Aloha Stadium.
Hi, my name is Cody White. I'm 15 and I've been playing hockey for 11 years now. I currently play at the Ice Palace in Hawaii, and I'm really glad that I can play hockey here in Hawaii.
Ice Palace is the only ice rink in Hawaii located on Oahu near Aloha Stadium. The youth ice hockey program Cody is a part of has been led by his parents since November 2017.
So I got into playing hockey and coaching hockey now 11 years ago, and never looked back on it. I think it's a great thing. I enjoy it a lot.
While the Ice Palace has a number of players for the hockey team, Cody's bracket, ages 12 and above, has a major obstacle preventing them from competing nationwide.
The team is currently going through a lack of players, which negatively affects us through having it so it's really just two teams playing against each other constantly.
Having tournaments, for example, we can't really do that as of now, but I know that we're actually working to get teams from the mainland coming here, which will be pretty cool.
It does have some challenges to it. And it's because of the disparity of ages and skill levels. We've got kids who are as young as 3 up to 18, and and in that group of kids, we've got kids who have come here and they played elite travel hockey, and we have kids who took it up a week ago.
Even though the Ice Palace League has over 100 players, the majority of them are below 11 years of age. Cody's league, ages 12 and above, has about 10 players, which is half the size needed for a full hockey team.
We play 4-on-4 now. We used to play 3-on-3, but not 4-on-4, which is much better.
And here in Hawaii, it's our hockey ohana, and we work as a big family. So we really don't see challenges. We see opportunities with these kids. It's a way for kids who don't go down the path of sports, so whether it's football or baseball, soccer, it's something completely different. It's something you can say, wow, I'm doing something out of the box, especially here in Hawaii.
No matter what I give into the sport, it gives me 10 times more. I'm really happy that I can still play it no matter what, no matter how old I am.
The growing success of the ice hockey program in Oahu shows that despite the challenges, there's new opportunities for youth sports in Hawaii. This is Joshua Ader from Hawaiʻi Technology Academy for HIKI No.
Next from the HIKI No archives, a story by students at KONAWAENA High School on the Big Island about another sport that is trying to find its legs in Hawaii.
Lacrosse is a true American sport. It was started by Native Americans and was originally known as medicine game. Now, KONAWAENA PE teacher Daniel Kern is on a mission to develop lacrosse into a mainstream activity in Hawaii.
You see kids walking around campus with lacrosse sticks or buying their own equipment or watching videos on their own. I think the level of interest and commitment is there. And I also have to keep in mind that this is a brand new sport and it's got to be fun. You got to teach the love of the game. I think with the level of talent that we have, especially here at KONAWAENA, we have some athletes that could really excel in the game of lacrosse. And I think it's a great cross-training sport for our football players in the spring.
Starting a lacrosse team in Hawaii has unique challenges. As the head of the only other lacrosse team on the island, Hawaiʻi Preparatory Academy coach Will Zucker knows them all too well.
You're taking a sport that has, really zero awareness within the community and trying to get buy-in from kids, from schools, from administrators, and from parents to say, hey, this is a foreign sport to you guys, but we're here to stay. So we're recruiting, and obviously when you start a lacrosse program, and I've been through this many times, you're competing against other sports from your same season. So there's that issue. There's the fact that there aren't many schools to play. And that's probably our biggest obstacle here on the Big Island.
Young men and women practice and compete together on the same team. They joined lacrosse for different reasons.
The most interesting thing I like about lacrosse is its heritage, its Native American backgrounds, and I'm Native American myself, so it's nice to play something that is historical to my blood.
Those who play it say lacrosse is more than just a sport. It bonds players beyond the field.
I had a coach that told me one time that if you were to be hitchhiking anywhere and you had a lacrosse stick over your shoulder, if another lacrosse player drove by you, they would pick you up, because that is how close of a community lacrosse is. And that's what I want these kids to experience. I want them to experience that community.
This is Shomesh Tamal Selvan from KONAWAENA High School for HIKI.
We're here at Waimea High School on Hawaiʻi Island.
Our digital media teacher and HIKI advisor is Mr. Don Yamamoto. Uncle Don, as he is affectionately known as, strives to provide us students with amazing opportunities throughout the year where we can exercise what we learn in his class. Every year, he gives his students the opportunity to travel to the mainland to attend the Student Television Network Conference, where students from across the country compete in different categories of film and broadcast media and learn from industry professionals. He believes in all of his students, and we are fortunate to have a teacher like him. The following story from Waimea High School on Hawaiʻi Island showcases an adoption service that helps to find a perfect match for the rescue dogs in the community.
Liko is feeling the love in his forever home. However, things may have turned out rough for this pup if he hadn't been placed into the care of Aloha Ilio Rescue in Hilo, Hawaii.
Aloha Ilio Rescue is a rescue that consists of a lot of community involvement. We save a lot of dogs. Last year, almost 700 dogs with our foster-based program. Fosters take in these animals and provide them with a home and structure and training, and we provide all the medical care and the advertisement to find them their forever homes.
Daylin is an amazing matchmaker. She finds pets that will match the households, and then she only adopts them out one time because they match, they fit well, and then everybody's happy. Since the island is pretty contained, there isn't an endless source of homes for all of the animals. They often say that one person would have to have 16 dogs and 40-something cats in their home to make it so that every pet had a home.
I think if people really knew what the real numbers were and looked into it more, I think a lot of the community would be really, really surprised at the amount of dogs that go through our Hawaiʻi Island Humane Society and how hard they try to get the numbers down. And that's why we jumped in to help, because we take almost 90-70% of our dogs all from the shelters. It's just love. It's love for the animals. It's my passion. It's what I enjoy doing. There's nothing else really that I can say. Good girl. And then there's Blade. My goal is that we can change the laws here in Hawaii and make it so that people have to be accountable for their pets. Spaying and neutering, keeping the pet population under control, and no more dogs being euthanized. Ultimately, we wouldn't need to do this anymore. My fosters run the show. The numbers that go through this organization is all because of them. If you can foster for an organization, do it. If you can get along with that organization and you feel that you believe in what they're doing, foster for them, help them with the animals, because if it's not for the fosters, we wouldn't have anything. We'll let the easier one out. I think people appreciate the care that the animals have had within Aloha Ilio Rescue, and when they get the animal, how well cared for they are and how relaxed they are. You know, they've already had some house training. It's just a different entity that we strive for. Ready? You ready? Come on. Come on.
Whatever dog that is adopted from Aloha Ilio, their goal is to make sure that the families are ready and able to take care of the dogs, that they will be loved and nurtured, because many of these dogs were neglected or abused. In Liko's case, he was more neglected. Ilio had come to do the home inspection, and after said, okay, you'll be receiving him on September 2nd. Come here. Knowing that we provided him a home where he's well cared for and he's now thriving, that just kind of makes it all that much more better for him. You know, you see the dog as a pet, but he's just another member of the family.
Thanks to the care of Aloha Ilio, there is a happy ending to this dog's tale. This is Mackenzie Carvalho from Waiakea High School for HIKI No.
And now, a public service announcement from Mililani High School on Oahu.
The small changes you do in Hawaii can make a bigger impact than you think. Like taking recyclables to the recycle bins and riding your bike instead of driving to your destination are all simple changes you can do. Like a puzzle, if everyone does their part, then it will all come together to make Hawaii a better place.
We are here on the campus of St. Francis School, located in beautiful Manoa Valley. Our media teacher and HIKI No advisor, Mr. Ryan Rogers, has been at St. Francis for 6 years. He has been instrumental in advancing the school's multimedia education, including St. Francis's contributions to the HIKI No program. Mr. Rogers has inspired many students at St. Francis by helping to develop and encourage the art of storytelling. In this episode, we want to send a very special thank you to Mr. Rogers for guiding and coaching us through our HIKI No journey since joining us in 2013. After a historical 95 years, St. Francis School will be closing its doors.
Through its ups and downs, the school and its students have left their mark and will forever be remembered as a part of the St. Francis community.
From all of us to all of you, we thank you for allowing us to share our stories with you. All media students past and present are more confident individuals through our time with HIKI No.
Here's a montage of some of the HIKI No stories created by St. Francis students over the past 8 years.
People don't write letters anymore, Grandma. They use Facebook.
Facebook?
What? Grandma has a Facebook? Wow.
Grandma, what are you doing?
I'm using Facebook. It's wonderful.
Hawaii is a dream destination for people from all over the world. Unfortunately, living in Hawaii is not a paradise for everyone. Every homeless resident has a different story of how they ended up on the street, and most also have different needs to get them back on their feet.
Hannah's my oldest. She's 10, and she was diagnosed with Asperger's, which falls under the autism spectrum. Sarah, we had no idea nothing was wrong with her until after she was born. And then the doctors came to us, and then they explained that she was missing a radius. When Sarah was little, Sarah didn't see any differences at all And then as she's gotten older, other kids start becoming more aware and pointing it out. So we've had a couple of incidences where kids weren't so nice about it.
I don't like hanging out with her sometimes, because she can be mean sometimes. Okay, Sarah, just a little bit.
My mom loved desserts. So I remember the first time she actually bought me my first ice cream maker when I was 6 from, I think it was Goodwill or something. And one of my fondest memories was, taking that home and making ice cream with her homemade. My mother was diagnosed in 2007. She was initially diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer, and she battled long and hard for the next 3 or 4 years. It was a big shock, but after time kind of set in, we realized the gravity of it. And she always was positive, whether or not you have cancer or you don't, or whatever the situation is, that every moment is important. Me and my mom were very close. She was a single mother, just raising me, and we had a lot of good times together, and she was everything to me.
I had to change how I thought mentally for the Bisaloha Hula competition by really changing how I interpreted things. So when Kumu's yelling at us or getting mad, and I would take it so personally, but thinking that it's not personal, it's just making me a better person, makes it a little bit easier to take. Being Miss Hula 2017 was my greatest accomplishment. I never in a million years thought I would ever get this opportunity, and I want to definitely keep inspiring other people that if you work hard, your dreams can come true.
This is Minji Kim from St. Francis School for HIKI No.
Well, we've come to the end of this episode of HIKI No.
Remember, these stories were written, shot, and edited by students like us.
We hope you enjoyed watching them as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you.
Be sure to tune in next week for more proof that Hawaiʻi students HIKI No. Can do.
Broadcasts of HIKI No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI No. Kamehameha Schools, empowering Hawaiian keiki to explore, discover, and inspire. ABC Stores, a local company helping to transform education and develop Hawaii's workforce through bold learning initiatives like HIKI No.